A huge police presence in cities across France has not prevented a third night of angry protest. 40,000 officers are on the streets to guard against more violence after the fatal shooting of a 17-year-old in Paris. The protests, which began in the suburb of Nanterre, where the boy, identified only by his first name, Nael, was killed, they've spread across the country. Tonight, there were clashes with police in Lille. There have also been violence in Amiens, Strasbourg, Dijon, Lyon and Toulouse.
There's an awful predictability to the way demonstrations end in Paris. The police, at the slightest provocation, resort to baton charges and tear gas. Protesters, even when asked to be peaceful, come ready for the fight. Amidst the anger of the last 2 days, this march through the streets where an unarmed 17-year-old was shot down was never going to end well.
Assassin! Assassin!
Murderers, murderers, he shouts, and in present circumstances he has a point. Even among those whose lives are rarely touched by tensions in the Paris suburbs, this week's shooting has been profoundly shocking. The mother of 17-year-old Nael had led this march of protest and of memory from the top of a van, frequently pleading with the crowd for silence and for respect. But the cry here was no justice, no peace. The anger goes much deeper than the death of one teenager.
However tough they are on the policeman who fired the shot, and they are pretty much throwing a book at him, it is unlikely to satisfy anyone here, because what they're protesting about is not one rogue officer, but a systematic culture of police violence.
They will charge the policeman who killed Nael with murder. The government, from the president downwards, has been explicit in its condemnation. The anger here, though, is going to require much more.
For the past few years, there have been so many young people dead for nothing, either dead or injured, super injured, and it's become very dangerous because we don't want France to become like the US, you know.
There are not just one bad policeman in, from 100 police officers. There are, I think, the half or more than the half of police officers are bad officers.
We are enough. After George Floyd, after everyone, we are enough.
Last night, the disturbances had spread beyond Paris with localised flare-ups across France. Tonight, the government will put 40,000 riot police on the streets. If they can't talk the rioters down, they will try to suppress them by sheer force of numbers. Already this evening, there have been outbreaks of trouble in the northern city of Lille. Minor by the standards of previous days, but it is early and a long night lies ahead. James Mates, News at 10, Paris.